ice dancing duo Chock and Bates answered a question about a possible appeal of the results of the ice dancing competition at the Milan Olympics. Chock and Bates won silver, losing to France's Laurence Fournier-Baudry and Guillaume Cizeron. Have you been online yet? Have you seen any comments? Bates? We were on social media and saw so many messages from people in the US figure skating community, from figure skating fans, and from people who simply reached out to us and truly appreciated our performance, which meant so much to us, because the Olympic Games are something special. There are a lot of fans who don't watch figure skating, and our skating resonated with them, and that means a lot. That begs the question, if you had the opportunity, would you consider appealing the judge's decision? Chock, I think we would consider it. I think figure skating is a very subjective sport. I believe it's good for fairness when the judge's work is evaluated, not just after this competition, but after every competition, to ensure a fair and equal playing field for all athletes. I remember seeing your faces when the final results were announced, and my heart just sank. But I'm curious to know what you were thinking, what you felt at that moment. It felt like the honest reaction of athletes who gave it their all. Bates, we've been working toward this dream for so long. We skated together for 15 years, and we felt like we were on the right path. We felt like we delivered golden performances. Chock, for me, that was enough. We did what we set out to do, which was deliver our best performances of the season and of our careers at a time when it mattered. We did it 4 times, and I don't think we could have done anything more. We are very proud of the work we've done. American journalist Jackie Wong commented on the skating of Russian figure skater Petr Gumennik. Do you follow Russian competitions? I bet it's not easy. You need all sorts of technical tricks. Yes. But I follow them from time to time. But it's true, it's not easy. Both technically, and a lot of things run in parallel with the Grand Prix and other international competitions. Should Russian figure skating be more open to the world? There's YouTube, which can be used. Right now, it feels like we're closing ourselves off. I agree. It's interesting that Skate Canada, for example, has begun to open its broadcasts to the world more frequently in recent years. The U.S. Skate Federation, to a lesser extent, television rights are a very complex issue. Broadcasters pay a lot of money for exclusivity, and these rights are almost always limited to a single country. Take the Japanese championships. A huge number of people wanted to watch them, but didn't understand how. It's all complicated. But if we want to see more figure skating, we really need to show it more. Were there any Russian skaters in the last 4 years who particularly stood out to you? I'm going to have trouble pronouncing their names now. Vlad Ikajai? Same? Well, it seems so. There you have it. That quadruple axel. The very fact that this innovative element was executed was really cool. Keegan Messing, Yuzuru Hanyu, Nathan Chen tried it. Many were moving in this direction, and it was fascinating to watch. I've long admired the skating of Dmitry Aliyev and Mikhail Kolyada ever since 2022. When you watch them, you feel like they're the complete package. Petr Gumennik also has a certain dramatic edge. Does he have that complete package? I think he might. He's very musical, and I like the way he carries himself on the ice. I've always had my eye on him since juniors. It's interesting to see how much he's matured in 4 years. I've seen him in bits and pieces in recent seasons, but this is the first time I've really seen him in his entirety, and I caught myself thinking, wow, he's a mature skater. Wong said, do you regret the absence of Russians at international competitions? I understand the reasons are obvious, but isn't it bad for both Russian and world figure skating? Back to the topic of figure skaters. Many of these kids started skating and training long before the ban. As a child, your dreams are simple. Get on the ice, compete at the Olympics, show what you're made of. It's good that Russia has maintained internal competition and tried to model a full season. The last 4 years without Russians and Belarusians have significantly changed international figure skating. I think this Olympics will be the first moment when we see the reintegration process. There are 2 Russian skaters here, and based on their experience, it will become clear how it all feels. Would you bet on the Russians returning this year? I'd say within the next 4 years. At some point within that period. I'm not sure it will happen right away. A lot depends on the circumstances that led to the ban. The ISU took a tough stance, even though many other sports no longer have such policies, Wong said. Russian figure skater Petr Gumennik said he's not concerned about his placement at the 2026 Olympics. I don't care about my placement at the Olympics. The main thing for me is to perform well, and it's impossible to predict how that will turn out. The main thing is to show what I'm capable of, Gumennik said. Out of habit, as soon as I skated my short program, I immediately forgot about it. I'm preparing for the free skate, and there's such a long break that it's easy to switch gears. There's enough time to practice and rest. I'm not afraid of burning out. A year ago, there was a day off at the Russian Championships, and I might have burned out then, but now I've gained experience performing with a break, and I've learned to control myself so as not to burn out, Gumennik said. Following the short program, I was very impressed by Adam Xiaohemfa's routine. It was a breathtaking performance. The jumps were very powerful and well executed, and the step sequence was top-notch, TASS quotes Gumennik as saying. Two-time Olympic champion Evgeny Plushenko. For several days now, everyone has been asking me how difficult it is to find myself in a situation with a music change. I think I definitely support the position of FFKKR President A.T. Sakaralids here. There have been times when the skates didn't arrive, but of course, it's better to skate in your own skates to different music than, for example, in new, unbroken in skates or someone else's skates, but to your own. The only thing worse than losing your skates is losing your music. But in both cases, you have to skate. What's important is that Petya is an experienced competitor. International competitions are nothing new to him. He was on the international stage before his suspension. If he does his job tomorrow like he did at the Russian Championships, the Americans and Japanese might shudder. The St. Petersburg school is strong in both strategy and technique. But the main thing is to skate and have fun, without worrying about placings or competitors. The ice is slippery. And it's not a given that everyone will have nerves of steel and maximum jumping content. Plushenko wrote. 2002 Olympic medalist Ilya Averbik believes that Alexandra Stepanova and Ivan Bukin could have been contenders for second place at the 2026 Milan Olympics. The dance competition left me with mixed feelings. Of course, like any Olympic tournament, it was filled with electricity, emotion, passion, and competition. And we certainly got all of that, but it couldn't have been any other way, because it's the Olympics, the main competition of the 4-year period, and a kind of summing up of the results. As for the results themselves, I understand that our guys have been absent for a long time, and, of course, tactically, they probably wouldn't have been allowed. But if you look at it objectively, for me the top 3 is completely different. First place goes to the French, despite their mistake. Second place goes to Stepanova and Bukin. Third place goes to the Canadians. Fourth, perhaps, is Chock and Bates. Fifth are the Americans Zingas and Kolesnik. And only then everyone else, Averbik said. To Tiona Tarasova, I agree with the results. They're correct. Finally, a Canadian pair who deserved to be first, second, or third for many years won bronze. They were left with nothing at all. I think the first 2 pairs sorted things out correctly. Guillaume won. He's more progressive, although the Americans skated amazingly. Are you surprised that the French managed to skate like that in just 1 season and immediately win the Olympics? No, I'm not surprised, because they're talented people. And talented people can work miracles, Tarasova said. How did you like the performances of Diana Davis and Gleb Smolkin? Can we already see their progress over the 2 seasons in Montreal? They skated well. But we mustn't forget that 3 Russian pairs didn't participate. Unfortunately, their placements are where they are. And there's no progress there. There is progress in skating and an understanding ice dancing, Match TV quotes Tarasova as saying.